Have you ever shot a roll of film where every frame is so disappointing? I just got back my scans from a day of photos where I just used my 135mm that I never used, and yeah, I kinda failed. But I still wanted to make this video to show you why failing is so important. So I've been shooting a lot lately with my 28mm, and when paired with the 50mm I don't need basically anything else. But while studying a bit of different photographers, I kept seeing these abstract photos shot on longer lenses. And I thought, well, of course, I should try. So I took my Canon FD 135mm that was sitting on a shelf collecting dust, I grabbed a roll of Portra 800 and headed to Milan for the day. So the idea was to look for reflections, a bit of slow shutter speed, and maybe some compositions made by colors. And honestly, I thought it was kinda simple. You know, Milan in January is kinda moody, so it was perfect weather. I went there with a lot of references saved on my phone just to get inspired on the go. But things didn't go as planned. So to be honest, I decided to vlog that day, and I was talking a lot about my expectations of the day. So as soon as I loaded my Portra 800, I started taking photos, and while shooting I was so convinced the photos were so good that I was super excited. But there is one problem when shooting film, and it's that you cannot review the photos that you're taking. So you trust the process, but you discover the results just when you get the scans back. So I started collecting shots, and I was honestly quite impressed by my vision at the moment. So during the day I tried to play a bit with the reflections or try to use some transparency to go very abstract with my subject, and to be honest, the intentions were so good, but the final result was kinda disappointing. Instead of showing you the entire vlog and a bunch of photos that didn't work pretty well, I decided to sit with you here and go through a couple of selected images just to review them and show you what worked and what doesn't. So for the first shot, I decided to play a bit with the dominant color, which is the red. As you can see, it's not a super abstract photo, but the goal was to nail the shot at least with this old woman walking with a red heart on the sidewalk, and the idea was to capture her here in this position. But yeah, I missed the shot because probably I pressed the shutter a little bit late, and yeah, I messed it up. So moving on, for the second shot, the idea was kind of similar. I noticed a woman with white hair and a red jacket passing by next to a wall with a red and white surface, and the idea was actually to frame her in this way. So with the white hair here and the red jacket here. So the idea was to play a bit with this line, the middle line, to have this kind of composition of colors, a bit more abstract. And the idea was to also to crop the image slightly just to avoid every distraction, like this way. But yeah, it didn't work. For this third shot, I again missed the shot because I was focusing on a person in the mirror here, and when I pressed the shutter, at least a second before, she moved away from the frame, and yeah, I got this weird shot. But not every shot was so bad. I honestly took a couple of good photos that I want to review with you. So this first photo here, I really like it because the pattern on the reflection played a nice texture on the reflection. So instead of just capturing a normal reflection of a yellow building, this pattern adds a little bit of extra texture. And the idea was actually to, of course, crop it a bit and yeah, maybe make it straight. So this way, just to have it a bit more geometrical. And the final result, I mean, it's okay. Moving on, a second shot that I kinda like is this picture here. I framed the ceiling of Galleria Vittorio Emanuele, where I saw these two balloons stacked up there, and I really like the geometry made by the lines of the structure plus the lines of the Christmas lights, and everything together played a nice composition. Plus the two balloons has two colors that are kind of contrasting each other, so the composition was, I mean, okay, maybe, you know, a little bit of crop just to avoid any distraction here in the right corner, like this one. I mean, is not that bad. So this shot, I really like it, but to be honest, it wasn't planned at all. I don't know what really happened, because my original shot was focusing on the panel here with the text, and I can tell there is a double exposure that I didn't want to make. So probably when I was changing frame, the film didn't advance properly and get stuck, and I took two photos in the same image, and the second image was a reflection that was kind of okay, but the two photos together, they're somehow interesting, I have to say, because I mean, it's just an error, but I mean, maybe sometimes making mistakes isn't bad, right? And for the last photo, this one is probably the only one that I really like, because I tried to compose the image this way, and when you nail the shot as you wanted, I think it's still a success. So I have this column on the left side of the image that is splitting the image in two parts, and I have two elements that I really like for this picture. The first one is the colors with orange and blue that are kind of complementary each other, while having also the orange or gold, let's say, of the column matching with the statue on top of the Duomo on the right side. And yeah, I think this is kind of cool because the statue sits in the middle of this part of the frame. So it sits in the middle right here and on the top third of the image. So it's an image inside another image, and I really like this composition after all. So why I decided to make this video? Because after a day of shooting, coming back home with one good frame on 36 shots is not a good result. After a first moment of total disappointing where I was saying, yeah, maybe I'm not that good at shooting film, or maybe it was a bad day, or maybe I'm not a good photographer, I don't know. I understood what is the main problem. And for me, that day was to set a photography goal. You know, I was so focused on finding some abstract moments that I probably completely lost all the other moments that I was not looking for. I mean, the problem wasn't the lens or the abstract photography in general. It's not that I don't really know how to do abstract photography, but the intention of going back home with 36 good shots and having only one concept in mind. Probably if I was going around the city just taking pictures of things that I noticed or really liked without focusing so much on the abstract photography. Probably today I was talking about good photos. For now, I have to say I'm pretty happy with what I got, because after all, we all make mistakes and we always learn from our mistakes. And today, I have to say, I learned a very important lesson. So yeah, instead of getting depressed, I decided to actually go back a little bit in my comfort zone, grabbing my favorite lenses and going out in my favorite place to take some cool photos. But that is another story, and you will find out in my next video. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for sticking with me until the end of this video. It means a lot, because the algorithm loves when someone stays until the end of the video. And if you really like this video, please leave a like, and if you want to see more honest videos like this one, let me know in the comments, because I think we always see the success and the wins of people, but we never see the failures, and failing is so important. So maybe we just have to accept our failures and treat it like a good thing and not a bad thing. Anyway, yeah, now it's time to go. See you in the next video. Ciao!